Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to. Actually, I'm here with. I forgot to introduce my guest.
AJ Talent.
And we're here to give you guys our Breaking Bad, season 4, episodes 5 and 6 reviews. Because if you go check out the CM Brothers video, we said that we would do this, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we posted the video like 5 minutes ago, so I'm sure most people who see this video haven't seen that.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen that video, go watch that, and then come back and watch this.
Or don't.
Yeah, whatever. It's your choice. Um, So yeah, we're gonna start. Yeah, we're gonna start reviewing Breaking Bad. He reviewed episode 4. Like I said, I already reviewed episode 5, but we're just gonna so that way he can give his thoughts on it. We're just gonna review it again.
Oh, and just so you know, people know this is the episode you're up to date with. I finished Breaking Bad already,
Yeah.
so I already know how everything goes.
So the best way we decided to do this is I will do the talking first, and then you'll kind of chime in. Just so that way.
Also, because I haven't seen this episode in a while. You just saw it a little while ago, so you'll do most of the talking in this one.
And how we're gonna do these Breaking Bad reviews is we're not gonna go through like scene by scene how everything happens. We're gonna do more of an overview of it.
Yeah, and just give her like thoughts and like what we think of the episode.
Sometimes we will have to do that just based on how the show goes. Like we do have to talk about like when we talk about episode 5, we do have to talk about like the opening scene. Obviously you remember this because obviously this was coming off of and I'm just saying this for his sake, of when Jesse got kidnapped by Mike and we didn't know what was gonna happen to Jesse. We had thought that he was gonna get killed. And Walter like was going to Los Polos, Gus's fast food restaurant, like in a panic and thinking that something bad was going to go down, and he calls Skylar, like confessing his love to her because he doesn't know, like, if he's going to survive this altercation. And then I do like the scene when he goes to Los Polos and he asks for Gus, and you can just see him waiting, and Gus actually isn't there, but he knows that it's all bullshit pretty much because his car is parked out front, and then Mike calls him, and pretty much Walter has to cook the meth himself, and Jesse, we don't know still at this point we don't know what's going on, but when he goes in the back we see that Gus isn't there, and that's what I liked about what this season's been doing so far is that it's slowly built into the final altercation that we know is going to happen eventually with Walter.
And it builds Gus up to be like a monster. Like he seems untouchable.
Yeah, because every time like Walter's tried to do something to him, like Gus has always been like a step ahead of him. So
yeah, like remember the beginning of the season with Victor?
Yeah, when he cuts his throat, and remember like Walt tries to go to his house and kill him, and Gus calls him.
Yeah. I remember during that scene, Mike actually where he cut Victor's throat. Mike actually pulled his gun on Gus for a second because he was scared.
Yeah.
So when you make Mike scared for even just a second, you're a pretty messed up guy.
Yeah, and I guess the best way to do this is to talk about what's going on with Jesse and Mike, just because I was throughout the episode. I do like the scene when Jesse and Mike stop, and we think something's gonna go down, like Mike's gonna murder Jesse and bury him, but instead
Jesse just doesn't care because he's depressed about Gail.
Yeah, and he even pulled out his keys like he was gonna defend himself too, and but instead what he does is he digs a hole, and pretty much what happens is since the drug dealers and stuff, I guess people leave money like in a envelope, just in various spots. Because obviously,
they like tell him the location later.
Yeah, but we find and I did like the way this scene was done, and obviously we knew there was something more to this. And I like the way they built to it. And Jesse was even wondering what the hell are we doing here? Because Jesse was bored to death doing this and stuff like that. And then later on we find out that do you want to talk? You probably remember this scene, like what actually was going down when. Do you remember the scene, like with the guy with the shotgun? Or do you want me to break that down?
You can do that one.
All right. So then what happens is, coincidentally, they stop at another pickup place, and Mike gets out, and he's gone for like a couple minutes, and the guy with the shotgun comes up behind Jesse as if they're gonna rob him, and Jesse backs the car right into the other guy's car and takes off. And Jesse's made to look like a hero because he saved the money. But then what did we find out, AJ?
Gus set the whole thing up.
Yeah. Now, I guess one logic flaw you could look at it, but I overlooked this as why the guys would agree to do this, but I'm going to kind of overlook that.
Not really. I mean, it's like they're probably Gus's men, and they're not really asking questions.
Yeah. But
I think it's good. It's an interesting characterization for Jesse, like making himself to be a hero because his self-esteem is usually so low.
Yeah.
That like he's like thinking of himself as a hero, even though he's just falling into Gus's hands, and Gus is just playing him like a flute.
Yeah. Because we did find out that the attack, which I have a feeling everyone probably had a feeling that this attack was a setup, just because it does get explained.
Like, yeah, it was just so out of nowhere. Like,
yeah, and the guy like Walter. I know when Walter does bring it up, like the guy gave up really easily. Like if they really wanted to take the money, they wouldn't have given up as quickly as they did and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I liked it a lot, and then obviously too, you can see too that Gus is trying to like get tension between Walter and Jesse, and just really bring friction into their partnership, because Walter's like stuck cooking the thin meth all by himself. And it's pretty much like a 2-person job because he doesn't know how to main the forklift and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like Gus is like bringing Jesse, like into like his little puppet show.
Yeah.
And Walt is just like left to like he has no allies left, like.
Yeah. And then obviously later on, they end up Walter and Skylar. I'm only mentioning this because this kind of becomes important. Sign the papers for the car wash. And I bet Walter was happy to have that out of his life because he didn't
even want to do it. Skylar was just being. I don't like Skylar. I don't think anyone likes Skylar. She's the most annoying person. But we're doing that, so cool. Walt's just like, thank God, we can get rid of this Skylar subplot.
And also too, he's probably like because he's dealing with other bigger things than just the stupid car wash and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, honey, like I need to deal with this evil chicken man stealing my partner and making me cook meth by myself. I don't got time for this car wash.
Yeah, but then she plays the voicemail of that Walter left in the beginning of the episode, and obviously she took it the wrong way. Like Walter actually was being sincere about this, and they end up having sex. And Walter Jr. comes back, and they were going to try to.
That's really awkward, yep.
And Skylar says, well, why don't you just move back in? And I do like, too, like later on in the episode, Walter Jr., I guess Skylar told him like he was moving back Tuesday, and Walter was like annoyed because he wasn't even clued in that. He was just like, he was just like, so she said that then.
Yeah. I know it's funny how it's like Skylar kicks him out and then tells him he's moving back in before he even decides.
Yeah, I know.
That's like awesome.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah. And then another big thing that happened was and this pretty much was the ending of the episode. Hank pretty much, when he thinks that Eisenberg is, because he thinks it's Gale at that point, is dead. Yeah. It gave him some closure about the Eisenberg case, so he was just done with the whole case.
And then Walt has to run his big fat mouth.
Yeah, pretty much that's what happened.
Walt's ego, man, that's the biggest part of his character. He's got such a big ego, and it's screwing him.
Yeah, and it screwed him over. Because you could make the argument that Walter had a little bit too much to drink, but I don't think that's what it is. I think it was what you just said, where it was Walt's ego, pretty much.
Yeah, well, I'm sure like the alcohol like made him like say things he shouldn't have, but yeah, the ego was definitely the biggest part of it, I think.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is at the end of the episode, Hank looks at the case one more time, and he gets suspicious.
What's up? Okay. I'm sorry, my dad came in.
He gets suspicious that Gail, a vegan, is shopping at not shopping, but buying food at
Los Porotos.
Yeah,
and then he's like, huh, Mr. Chicken Man, he's might be selling little drugs and whatnot.
Yeah, and I do like that because
What's in your chicken, Mr. Gustavo, if that is your real name.
and I do like that because even though it did leave us like with enough of a cliffhanger where it intrigues you to want to see what's going to happen next. So,
and I think it like Hank is really underrated. Like he figures all this stuff out on his own. Like he's really smart.
yeah, um,
Like he kind of comes off as a dumbass sometimes, but like you have to
yeah,
figure like if he didn't know Walt, he probably would have captured him already. You know.
oh, probably, yeah,
Like
and
the only reason he hasn't gotten Walt yet is because like he's known him for years, and he's like, "There's no way my stepbrother's, you know,
I
I'm
think
not."
he definitely would have caught him too if he didn't get injured, in the third season, probably too, like that.
Oh yeah, Walt would be behind bars, like absolutely.
Yeah, and um, I like but that was episode 5. I'll just say what I thought about the episode. The episode I thought was a pretty good episode. It's not like one of the episodes you probably have to see, but it definitely does a lot of good job of setting up future
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a good setup episode. That's definitely what it is.
Yeah,
Sets up Jesse's relationship with Mike and Gus. Sets up the turmoil with Jesse and Walt. Sets up Hank and his Heisenberg, his how he feels about the Heisenberg case. It's a very
and
good
then
setup episode.
yeah, and episode 6 is pretty much the same thing. It's but I feel like I said, like a lot of TV shows, a lot of the episodes really are like that, where the setup episodes. But you know,
Well,
uh,
I think Breaking Bad is good with setting stuff up, but also giving little payoffs. You know,
yeah, definitely,
like it saves all its big stuff till later, but it's not just all set up. There's a lot of big stuff that happens.
yeah,
Like even though I thought the car wash stuff was dumb, it's good that it happened.
yeah, definitely. I didn't think it was dumb either. It was just
Well,
if it
I
wasn't,
just don't like Skylar, so I don't like
yeah.
anything she does.
Um, and the episode opens. Actually, did it open? Well, this isn't how it opened, but this is just the first thing I'm going to talk about. Um, what's probably one of the best scenes that Walter and Skylar probably ever have together, when Skylar's really worried about Walter, because of worried that he's in danger, because
Yeah, that he's dealing with psychotic criminals.
yeah, and she feels that he's in danger, and obviously you have to remember this scene when Walt, because it's a pretty big scene where just snaps and he says that he's the danger and danger.
And wait, can we both say it together?
Um,
3, 2, 1. I'm the one who. Okay, you didn't do it.
I wasn't sure if because I can't do. You know me, I can't. I wasn't sure if you were gonna say that. So, but yeah, pretty much, I'm the one who knocks.
Yeah.
But
And I think Skylar is a little more afraid of Walt now. Like she's like, "Oh shit, my husband," because she didn't know like Walt's killed anybody. She just thought he was in a lab like cooking meth.
And before that, she didn't know, because when Gail was brought up at dinner, she didn't know that Gail was aligned with Walter or any of that, and then she did research herself. But this scares Skylar enough to.
And something cool I like about this scene, it sounded like a comment of the video on YouTube. Whenever Walt gets like Heisenberg-y, like where he becomes like evil, he wears darker clothes. In the scene, he's wearing like a light jacket, and he takes the light jacket off, and he's got like a dark shirt underneath.
Oh yeah.
So like I look at it like Walter White wears light clothes, and when he becomes Heisenberg, he wears dark clothes.
Yep. Kind of like the
it's just little details like that I really love.
Kind of like you could say the unmasking from Walter White to Eisenberg in a way.
Exactly, and like he starts to wear a lot more dark clothing as it goes on. I think this is like a good part in the series where he's like right in the middle, like he's Walter White and Heisenberg.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, he's like pure Walter White, and as it goes on, he becomes more and more Heisenberg.
And obviously too, but this scared Skylar enough where she was considering leaving the state because and she was debating it, and eventually, I know this is like jumping the gun, she doesn't leave the state, which obviously we knew was going to happen, but
yeah, I mean, what's she gonna do? Leave her 2 kids with a crazy meth guy?
Yeah, because she does the thing where she goes to, like, I don't know what it's called, but this place where it shows.
I think it's like a tri-state area.
Yeah, and she flips like the coin, and it keeps landing on Colorado, but then she decides just to stay.
Yeah,
I thought that was a pretty good scene, and
like I don't like her, but I get why she's like upset.
Yeah, and Walter Jr. doesn't really know what's going on because he thinks obviously about Walter White's gambling,
Yeah.
and Walter Jr. is upset that Walter's not going to move back into the house, and and you can tell Walter does this all the time. He always buys off Walter Jr. He got him his own car.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is when Skylar comes back, she sees that the car is back, and when Walter Jr. leaves, Walter apologizes. He said that everything I do it to protect this family. And then Skylar says, and then obviously Skylar's like, so then the car that was protecting your family. And then pretty much what happens is,
I mean, like, I get where she's coming from, but that is kind of like he bought his son a car to make him feel better. Like, he can't be all that bad.
But she gets upset because pretty much I understand her point of view because um, because all of a sudden now people are gonna think a guy that hasn't that's pretty much been unemployed all of a sudden can afford this really expensive car that goes against their story, especially too. Hank would have been able to would start to get suspicious a little bit too.
Right, but at the same time, I look at it like they probably had. I think she's just being a little too paranoid.
Yeah, I would say that too. And
like it's not unreasonable to think. I mean, they just bought a car wash. I think that breaks the story more than anything. Like, we're broke, but we can buy a store.
Yeah.
I think buying a car isn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
Especially if you own a car wash.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I think you're right. It's probably being a little paranoid. But Walter gets worried that Walter Jr. is going to blame her for this, and Skylar doesn't really care. And I do like the scene where she mentions that she has to protect the guy. She has to protect her family from the guy that's trying to protect his family, which I think is kind of a clever quote.
Yeah, it's pretty clever. I mean, and I can't really blame her for that. Walt's a little crazy.
Yeah. And I did think that that storyline was a pretty good storyline, and also we got more tension between Walter and Jesse because Walter, because he's so smart, pretty much knows what Gus is doing, but Jesse I don't think wants to buy it because
I think Jesse knows. He just doesn't really care.
Yeah, he really doesn't care, and Walter's left to clean the lab himself, and he bribes these three Mexican laundry washers to do it, and he ends up costing them to get deported pretty much.
Yeah, and that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I did like this though because Walter thought that he finally got a one up on Gus because he's the one that's not cleaning. He gives he toasts Gus through the camera. And Gus is like, nope, I'm always one step ahead of you, Walt.
Yeah.
So I like that.
He can't even get the little victories. Gus is making sure he runs everything.
Yep. And then the last bit of the episode pretty much was there was I have to look up their names because I'm not going to remember them. There was this group.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm trying to. Hold
on.
Yeah,
I'm just correcting you. Don't mind me.
I can't find. I was on the wrong episode. Okay, it's called the cartel. The cartel hitchhikers. These are the people that Mike got to do a confrontation with, and they came back again, and they pretty much stole some of the blue meth from Gus, and Mike and Jesse go to investigate. And I thought what Jesse did was pretty smart. At first, he tries to get them to sell them the blue meth, but they say they don't sell to strangers because they were very suspicious that they knew they had this stuff.
Yeah.
And then he is able to go into the house because he causes one of the people to dig a hole, distracted them, and then he goes into the house and he knocks one of the guys out with, I think, a vase. I don't really remember exactly what it was. And then there was a message on the container that was written in Spanish, but when you translate it, it says "ready to talk." So the cartel wants to do some sort of negotiation with Gus, and Gus says that they will deal with this negotiation. And then Gus and Jesse see each other, and Jesse wants to know why he picked him to be the guy. And Gus says a famous quote, which is on Wikipedia. It says, "I think I see things in people. I like to think I see things in people, but obviously it's more of what you said. He's just playing Jesse as his puppet."
Right, but I do think he thinks Jesse is like a useful. Like if he didn't think Jesse was useful, he'd just kill him, you know. So it is kind of a compliment.
Yeah,
if you think about it.
Walter
Just not in a good way.
But Walter did also say that that if he does kill Jesse, he knows that Walter's not going to stand for that. So yeah, which obviously we've seen throughout the episode. So yeah, that was pretty much the entire 2 episodes. I like this episode too. Like I said, I thought this was a really good setup episode.
Exactly.
And I'm really. It makes you excited about what's to come next at the end of season 4.
Yeah. There's only like one episode of Breaking Bad that I don't like, and I don't know if we're there yet or not. But you know,
is it that fly episode?
Yeah.
Okay, that episode's already happened.
Okay, yeah, that was the only one I didn't like. It was just dumb.
It's really weird. It's really weird though that like they can make how the same writers can make every Breaking Bad episode, but
yeah.
I guess they.
I get it. Like it's like improve Jesse and Walt's relationship because it was kind of bad.
Yeah.
But like a few episodes later, their relationship is bad again, and it's just funny. Like I imagine Gus just sitting on his computer watching them, being like, so they're just spending all their free time instead of cooking meth for me, just trying to get a fly.
Yeah. It's just it was just not good. But yeah, overall these are good episodes. And that's pretty much it. I don't know the next time we're gonna do a Breaking Bad reviews. The plan is they'll be weekly.
Probably not tomorrow, maybe Monday.
Yeah, maybe Monday. We'll see Monday. Oh yeah, because you don't have school Monday, right?
No, it's Veterans Day. Well, I think today's Veterans Day, but we get it off on Monday anyway.
I guess we'll do that. We'll do it Monday. I don't know the time yet, so I'll let you.
Yeah.
We can obviously
and if you're a big fan of Red vs. Blue or Pokemon Rusty, we will be doing a reaction to Rusty tomorrow and be doing a review of Red vs. Blue tomorrow. We might do all of season 1 in one video. We might do just a couple episodes. We'll figure that out.
So should I have Red vs. Blue watch by tomorrow? Probably.
We could watch it like off camera together.
Okay, yeah.
Just because if you get confused by anything, I'm here.
All right, true.
And we'll do Rusty react. If anything, I would go back and rewatch a few episodes of Rusty.
I think I just probably have to watch the one episode we did the reaction to, right?
Well, we did a big reaction to every episode.
Oh, that's true. I'll have to check.
Each episode was like 3 minutes long.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
So just watch like the last like few ones, and then you're good.
All right. So that's this video. I'll probably actually, now that I'm talking about Breaking Bad right now, I'll probably watch the next episode though. Now that we're talking about it.
Yeah. I can't tonight. I got an essay to do, but I'll probably watch it tomorrow then.
All right. All right. So that's pretty much the end of this video. Do you have anything you want to plug or promote?
Check out me, AJ Talent. Check out CM Brothers for any like animated stuff like we're gonna Death Note and our Red vs. Blue stuff. Check out this channel for more Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, wrestling, and all that stuff.
No wrestling. No, not this channel. Wrestling's
other one. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even really watch wrestlings anyway, so.
Yeah.
Check out my channel, AJ Talent, if you like game stuff. I only have like 2 videos up right now, but I can plan to upload more in the future. So stay tuned for more. Thank you for having me on, Owen.
No problem. Now I'll definitely have Breaking Bad done before the end of the year. So
hopefully, I don't know. December's coming up pretty close. Might take another year-long break.
Probably, we'll never know. But that's pretty much it, guys. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.